Hello, it's a surprise from YouTube and surprise to Instagram. Welcome to the new playlist on Friday on Sterling on Cinemas. That's Cinemas with an S. And today, this playlist will kick off the Fast and Furious review binge watching series. So before I begin, if you are new to this video or if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the section below if you have anything to say, and most importantly, watch. And the same thing if you're on Instagram. If you're new to my page, don't forget to follow me at ManoStill and comment and like and share with your friends and family on your story. Let's get to this. Let's take it 1/4 mile at a time. So, the original Fast and Furious from 2001 sees Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, enjoys the adrenaline of street car racing at night, and his fans treat him like a rock star god. But after a blazing encounter with the ruthless Johnny Tran, Dom decides to take Brian, played by Paul Walker, the late great Paul Walker, a newcomer to street racing, under his wing. Dom's sister Mia sees something she likes in Brian too. The trouble is, neither of them realize he's an undercover cop. Dominic and his rival, Johnny Tran, are both the prime suspects in a case involving dirty money and a big rig hijacking. Okay, sure, there may not be a lot to take away from this story of the first entry in this long-running Fast and Furious saga, but it is impressive to see how far we have come to watch these characters reach their destination. But the first movie in the series is not really that. It is pretty much a basic, generic start to something bigger and better. I mean, all it is, it's a street racing film in Los Angeles, like any film could be, like any film like this could be. But the story establishes the concept of family and living 1/4 mile at a time. On the surface, it may not seem like there is a lot for the story to offer. I mean, it's not Fast 5, which is considered to be the best one in the franchise so far, but I'll be the judge of that. And it's not Furious 7, but it looks like nobody would have ever known how much of a trailblazing success this franchise would become. I will say that it smoothly sets up the prominent characters of Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor without taking it too far. As far as the movie itself, it just blends in with most other action films of that era. I mean, it's 2001, so it pretty much feels more like a late 90s film with the warm color temperatures and the street racing and, you know, all that stuff. But it feels like a cop movie just as much as it is a racing action flick, a raging racing action flick. There is not really much to make out with the plot, though we never knew that Brian was undercover until he got brought back in from the gang. But that is where we learn the significance of family in this franchise. Your family is any group that you stick with through life, and it doesn't have to be just your biological family. A family can come in different shapes and sizes. Your family can be different groups throughout your life, and Brian chose his. Now, we are all on the same page here when it comes to who the protagonist of the whole franchise is, but it feels like the protagonist for the movie is Paul Walker's Brian O'Connor. The story follows in the direction of where the character goes. It starts off with a big rig hijack, and the only way for the audience to know what's going on is to follow Brian. We see Brian get mixed in with the street racing culture and enjoys it while he is there. That he wants to get his own car. Even though he's undercover, he still gets so drawn and attracted to this world, and that is where he meets Dom. This is where we see the bond between Toretto and Brian, and where Dom tells Brian how much it means to his life, to him, to live 1/4 mile at a time. Brian meets Maya, who is Toretto's sister, and which is how the family factor got started, because the protagonist's sister falls in love with the supporting protagonist. And that is where we get the taste of how family begun. The relationship between Dom and Letty is apparent throughout the film, but Letty does not play much of a role, a team player, until towards the end. Before we entered into the territory of international super spies and espionage and action and computer hackers, all we had was some common street criminals, everyday street criminals. And Johnny Tran is the original antagonist in the saga. And his gang are pretty much the suspects of the hijacking of the trucks and becomes Brian's target. But other than that, the movie doesn't do much, can't do much because it's just a street racing movie. But one thing it could do is like throw a little bit of action in there and family factors, and you got an original formula for what would inspire a whole saga to come. Rotten Tomatoes gives The Fast and the Furious a 53% score. The first Fast and Furious film from 2001 does not have a lot of turns and drifts to begin with, but offers the right types of nuts and bolts for the entire saga going forward with its small character moments, but it still fits the usual agenda for any action film during that time. So for that, I will give it 6.9 SOs out of 10. So that's the end of the review. Before I go, I just want to let's just establish this right now. With this franchise, I'm only be giving you a review on each of the Fast and Furious movies on a Friday. That's 2 Fridays a month. So next Friday should be Too Fast, Too Furious, and then 2 Fridays in February are going to be Tokyo Drift and Fast 4, and then March will be Fast 5 and Fast 6, and then April will be Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious, and then May should be Hobbs and Shaw, and by the time we get to May 28th, that's when Fast 9 comes out. Y'all like where I'm going here? Y'all like where I'm going here? Because, like, I'm on my own pace with these movies. So, like, if anything new comes out, you can't expect me to critique that because, like I said, I'm on my own pace. I'm trying to cover everything that's old while getting to things that are new in recent years. So that's how I roll. But anyway, that is the end of my review, and I'll see you guys next week with my next bunch of reviews. Bye.